There's one thing every clothing store owner needs to be doing to double the revenue on your store, and that is email marketing. But how you get these email addresses can be tricky. Well, there are countless strategies out there. One often overlooked gem stands out as the #1 hack for clothing stores, and that is pop-ups. Pop-ups have garnered, I would say, a bit of a reputation, mixed reputation, right, over the years. Some people see them as very intrusive, disrupting the actual user experience, while others actually swear by their effectiveness. So I'm on the camp of, if it's executed thoughtfully and strategically, pop-ups can be a game changer for your clothing brand. And I would say timing is key. Timing is going to play a crucial role in the success of your pop-ups. While you want to capture the visitor's attention, bombarding them with pop-ups the exact moment they land on your site can be off-putting. And I will say, I review websites on the daily, and this is by far the #1 thing that I see the most. As soon as I load the website, the pop-up just shows up right there, when I don't even get a chance to know if I like the product that I'm seeing or if I like your brand enough to sign up for something like this, right? It's asking for your hand in marriage without even going on a date first. So using triggers such as exit intent, so when a user is actually about to leave the site, or scroll depth, so after a user has scrolled a certain percentage of the page, or lastly, an actual time delay, right? So after a user has been on the site for a specific amount of time, then displaying these pop-ups. This actually ensures that the pop-ups are displayed at moments when the visitors are maybe most engaged and maybe more receptive to actually wanting to see these pop-ups. Out of all the examples that I have here today, I believe almost every single one of them was under 3 seconds in terms of showing up on the site. Some of them were immediate, and like I said, I would say 3 seconds was the overall consensus between some of these brands. I would also say some brands are not even doing pop-ups. Something like Aloe Yoga, they're not doing a pop-up. They actually have a link at the very top of their navigation that says sign in to get rewards, and that triggers an actual pop-up. But this pop-up has a lot of information, a lot of things to fill out right within here. Now, something I truly enjoy, and something that I was actually very surprised to see on a lot of these brands, is the personalization aspect of them. So we have True Classic Tees right here, and you'll see that it's not just the email address that they want to collect. They want to know if you're a male or female in order to be able to personalize a little bit deeper in the back end. So tailoring pop-ups to individual user preferences and behavior can actually increase the effectiveness, right? Not just the effectiveness of the pop-up, but obviously of email, the communication that you're going to be able to send to them. So this means that for me as a user, if I see that I can actually sign up for mail communication only, that's going to be a little bit more attractive for me, because I know that you're going to personalize the experience. Now, you do have to make sure that if I do click on mail, that emails and the communication that comes after actually matches, right, the preferences that I actually selected. Don't just put it up here as a gimmick, right, and then in the back end you truly don't have segmentation set up within your email provider. But True Classic has a great example here of male, female, and unlock 20% back. Yeah, Billabong had a few more options. So men, women's, boys, and girls, all options here within preferences. And this one actually allows you to do multiple. So maybe if you're interested in multiple things, maybe men's and boys, maybe you have a son, and I want to also receive some communication on that. Getting that personalization is going to take your pop-ups to the next level. It's going to indicate to the customer, right, that you care about what they're getting and what they're signing up for. Now, copy and the design of your pop-ups should be attention grabbing and should also be visually appealing. Let me show you one that is not very visually appealing. Vori, not very visually appealing. As you can see, it has a lot of text. What I will say though is the headline, the actual offer, right, the 20% off your first purchase, it's bigger text, right? So it kind of stands out versus everything else here. But the light gray color that they're using, it's not very eye-catching, right? Nothing about this is very eye-catching. Now let me show you one that's very eye-catching and it really stands out. Here we have Lane 201. They opted for a almost full page pop-up. So as you can see, the pop-up takes care of almost like fills out the whole space. And at a glance, very, very quickly, you can see that 20% off. To me, these are the best types of pop-up where you can see the offer just right away, and it uses very concise and compelling language, right? Sign up and enjoy 20% off. Like, it's very much to the point. And then just another sentence on the actual, maybe a little bit more details on it, right? Real-time updates, new arrivals, hottest trends, etc. But as you can see, the amount of text in here is very concise, very short, and they have have the offer very much front and center on the actual pop-up. Here's another one from Revolve that doesn't really stand out too much. And again, to me, I think the best pop-ups are the ones that at a glance, if I'm like looking around, right? I'm not really looking at my computer, not looking at my pop-up, but I'm looking around, can I truly see and know what the offer is, right? This one is gonna be really hard. They have a lot of images in here. They have 4 different images and they have the 10% off as a title, but it's very, very small. Something that I also wanna make sure that I express with this point is the imagery that you use in here, the colors that you use in here needs to match your brand aesthetic. So don't go with oh, we need to have a purple button because purple buttons convert better than black buttons. No, customers will be able to tell what you're doing and may even feel a little bit, I don't know what the word is,
icky, I don't know, like
they can sniff out, right, the bull in here. So make sure that you actually match the pop-up to your brand aesthetic. Make sure you match the colors, the fonts, and even, you know, to me, like I think adding the logo is not a bad idea, but you have to do it tastefully where it's not necessarily the front and center thing. So you can see here within Kill Crew, they have the logo actually added within the image side of things. So we have the image, we have with a shirt, and then we have the Kill Crew logo here at the bottom. But again, this one's just very simple, very to the point. Do you want 10% off? Join our email list. Additionally, making sure that the pop-up is actually design responsive and optimized for both mobile and desktop devices is going to be a game changer for you as well. I don't have any visuals on the mobile side of things, but for example, this Kill Crew one, if I was doing it for mobile, I would get rid of the image and just keep it simple with the 10% off, and that's it. Because on mobile, you don't want this horizontal thing showing on mobile. When on mobile, you're definitely going to want to take advantage of the phone's dimensions, which is going to be more that
vertical
aspect ratio. So these horizontal type of pop-ups don't really work that well on mobile. Plus, you'll start to see a lot of the text really get tiny on mobile devices. So having your pop-up be optimized for mobile, or even better yet, I know Klaviyo can do this where you can have a specific pop-up for desktop and a specific pop-up for mobile devices. That way you have full control of how the pop-up looks. You may be able to hide certain sections like the image, just keep it very simple for mobile devices. Now, the offer is really what's going to convert someone into sending you the email or even SMS or not. So providing something tangible of value to visitors in exchange for their email address is the way to go. I've seen a lot of pop-up where they tend to do a, hey, just sign up for updates, right? Or sign up to get the latest on our product. Like that is not going to work at all in order to get some good email addresses and good conversion on your pop-up. So this could come in a lot of different shapes and forms. Discount codes are going to be the most popular ones. Free shipping offers are also going to be good. If you do have actually some kind of sales or some kind of event coming up, having exclusive access to that. But again, it has to be something very particular, right? Let's say you're running a sale coming up next month and you're trying to collect as many email addresses. Having that pop-up be very exclusive for that particular sale, that could work. Other thing is having a chance to win a prize, right? Through some kind of contest or giveaway. Those are also something that you could test out within your store to see if it works better than just a simple offer like the 10% off. In terms of the discount, right? The discount, the offer, it's really going to depend on your financials. Really, I think the sweet spot on what we see in terms of percentage off, it goes from the 10 all the way up to the 25% off. And a lot of times I would suggest for everyone to set it up this way, where it's just for your first time order. After that, then you can figure out some other types of discounts or incentives that you may be able to offer them. But when it comes to the percentage off or having that unique discount code, 10 to 25% would be the sweet spot for me. And again, depending on your business, your financials, and then just A/B testing, right? A/B testing. If you do 10% off and you run it for a month and it doesn't really do a whole lot, switch it to 15. See how it does. Run it through a month. I always like to say, test it out. Test it out for your audience. Your audience is going to be a little bit different than the ones who are shopping potentially for a Kill Crew. Now, to give you an example of something that I don't think, honestly, do not think this is going to work, is something like this, where it's still very simple, right? But it says unlock your mystery discount, but it doesn't give you anything else, right? There's nothing else to this except for some kind of mystery discount. This, I mean, sure, you're playing into the curiosity of the audience, right? That like they may want to know exactly what the discount is, but at the same time, you're just not giving it enough. There's not enough here to go off of. So if you do some kind of mystery discount or spin the wheels could be a little bit popular, but at the same time, again, kind of gimmicky. But give me the options, right? What are some of the options? Is it 5, 10? Is it 50% off? Like, could I win 50% off? I don't know. But give me some options here in terms of what I'm looking for this particular mystery discount. You're also gonna get stores like Lululemon where they had no pop-up whatsoever. I was very, very surprised. But yeah, some of these bigger brands, they either have a pop-up that shows up immediately or they don't have a pop-up at all. Lululemon, at least for myself, in this incognito on Safari, I never got a pop-up. I lingered on the homepage for a while and no pop-up showed up. Now, the last thing I want to leave you with, and I alluded a little bit, is to continuously test and optimize your pop-up. You need to be able to maximize their effectiveness, and experimenting with different designs, copy variation, the different timing triggers that we talked about, and different offers, right? To see what's actually resonating best with your audience. Again, a lot of these pop-up apps like Klaviyo, eComSend, Attentive, they all have some A/B testing built in within them. So you can actually gather the insight and actually test and drive more conversions for your pop-up. This one for Shein actually takes up the offer even another notch, or it could be one of those things where maybe they're tricking you a little bit, but here you see the 20% off, but then on top of that, you get free shipping and free returns. I don't know if I think they do free shipping and free returns for pretty much everyone, but they've added it to the offer right here within the pop-up to make it seem like, hey, you're getting this sort of big bundle, right, for signing up with us. So just very interesting in terms of the offer there. Now, just to show you a few other examples, Old Navy, they didn't have a standard pop-up. They have a pop-up, right, because it popped up in here, but it's more for opening a credit card, which I thought was kind of weird. It's just rewards credit card, get you 30% off. So they have an offer, right? It's an offer technically. It's a little bit higher commitment for sure to do a credit card instead of just grabbing an email address. But I thought that was interesting, wanted to show you. White Fox Boutique had an interesting placement for this. I think this is done on purpose. If you can see, it's very hard to tell that it's a pop-up at a glance. If you've exited the page and then came back, the pop-up is right here in this corner, right? It says join the White Fox world, and it has a lot of information: email, first name, phone number, birthday, and then sign up now. So this one is probably the worst that I've seen so far because it asks for way too much information up front. It doesn't have a real tangible offer, but I will say they do have this right here on the corner. So you can actually, with your phone, and download the app, and you get a 15% off when you download the actual app. So it may be that their play is not email. Maybe their play is to get people into the app. And then maybe from the app, they actually collect your email address. Other examples, and something that I've seen quite a bit too, is, for example, Shop the Mint here. Again, no pop-up showed up immediately, but something that they're doing here within their website is you'll go to the bottom here and it says 150% off your first order, and has your email address and birthday, and you sign up right through here. So this is more of a permanent type of section that follows you around through every single page. So they have this connected to their footer, and it just goes on every single page. Now, the good thing about this is that you're not being intrusive with the pop-up, but you're still opening up the door for your customers to sign up via email address and get some kind of good offer. To me, I think it's best of both worlds to do this section and do the pop-up, and then making sure that the verbiage actually matches. I see this a lot where you may have a pop-up and then you have this section as well, but then on the section you just say like, sign up to our email list, and that's it, right? If you have a 15% off on your pop-up, make sure that your verbiage also matches right here. Offer them that 50% off as a first order right here within this section as well. Now, there you have it. Those are my suggestions on how to do a really well constructed pop-up. Pop-ups can be a very, very powerful tool, and that's why we say it can technically double your revenue if you're collecting email addresses and then actually using those email addresses to drive more sales. This is actually something that's essential for every single business, and that's why a lot of these brands that we even pulled up right here, they're using pop-ups because they are effective at the end of the day. Sure, they may be a little bit intrusive. We talked about different ways that you can mitigate that and make it a little bit better, but at the end of the day, if you're not using pop-ups on your store to gather email addresses, you're losing business. Now, if you're interested in setting up your own pop-up with Klaviyo, then I would suggest checking out this video next. It's over here, I think, over here, where we go over A to Z on how to make that pop-up happen in Klaviyo.